How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's good? What's good? Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Jay to the J Jones. Welcome to another little episode of the J Experiment. Yep, glad y'all tuning in. Continue to tune in. Appreciate y'all. Y'all mean a lot. Like for real. Y'all mean a lot. Anywho, just wanted to touch bases with you. Part of my lesson, first lesson plan. It's lesson plan number 1. Let's talk about having a bank account, which is very important. To me, I think it's very important. I can talk about some other stuff. I get into some other, basic stuff that I think people should be really paying attention to. But I think having a bank account is one of the most vital things that we as people just deprive and don't take advantage of. Now, there's a lot to, the whole banking conversation, but overall general basis, I mean, obviously, you need to have a job. You need to have a source of income. But you don't necessarily have to have a job to have a bank account. But what I like about the bank account is it gives you the opportunity to save money. And that's what we want to get back to. We want to get back into the habit of saving money. Some people really have a hard problem saving money. So it's different tactics. Like me, I tend to save more money when I don't have cash on me. If I don't have cash on me, then I'll, tend to not spend as much. Some people are the opposite. Some people abuse credit cards and debit cards. They figure they can swipe it. Just swipe. You get your debit card, you swipe. Get your credit card, swipe. So be familiar. Always be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. That's one of the things I tell people all the time. Don't lie to you. Number one, who the fuck is you lying to? Like, you lying. You know the truth. So, like, who is you lying to? You lie to me, but what the hell you lying to yourself for? What in the world could you possibly think that you're finna accomplish by lying to yourself? But I think that might need to be said. Don't be lying to yourself. Keep it real with you. Tell the truth to you. If you don't tell the truth to nobody else, always keep it real with yourself. Don't be lying to you, because that ain't going to get you nowhere in life. I mean, that's crazy. But be familiar with you. Be familiar with the style of saving that you, are good at. Some people are terrible at saving, period. They can always find a reason or find some kind of, way to spend money. So we have to focus on definitely figuring out a way, a system of not spending every dime or dollar we get, regardless how much money you make. Because even if you barely make enough money, you got to figure out a way to save money, or just figure out a way to make more money so you can have some money to save. Short-term sacrifice, long-term reward. So, but I think the first step for most of us, for the kids and for the younger generation who haven't really got into the work field yet, who haven't got into the job field, who, still figuring it out, it's a good learning tool for parents to instill in them the importance of saving and ways to save and ways to deal with money. But for most of us who are grown and you're working and you got bills and, responsibilities and livelihoods, having a bank account is very important. Now, like I said, the banking conversation is crazy. It's all over the place. It's a lot of stuff to cover. But the overall basic thing I need you to know is you need a bank account. You need a bank account. You need a bank account. No ifs, ands, and buts. You need a bank account. Now, what you do with the bank account is a whole different conversation. It's different ways. And I think it's very vital that we pay attention to that. Like, don't be afraid of the banker. Let me tell you something. Everybody, not just black, white, whatever, people have a tendency to be afraid of talking to people at a bank. Because it's like you have this sense of acceptance. It's just like, they let me have a bank account. Oh my God, I ain't getting them no problems. No, you need to talk to your banker. You need to talk about, like, for instance, I was with a bank. I was so happy to have a bank account that I was with a bank I'm not gonna throw their name out there, and they were charging me $11 a month for checking, unless I kept a certain amount in my account. So stuff like that make a difference, because you look up and you like, damn, why is y'all charging me $11 a month? You know, and you got to pay attention to that. Pay attention to if they have charges for using checking accounts, charges for savings. You know, pay attention to that. All banks don't provide loans and assistance to people to where you can go and get a bank account, and then you thinking, oh, I got a bank at I got an account at Bank of America, and you thinking, yeah, you can go in there and talk to Bank of America. I want to get me a car, and you only need $9,000. Bank of America not interested in giving nobody $9,000, because they don't make no money off of it. To them, they don't make no money. I don't make no money off that $9,000. They dealing with big loans. They want to do so stuff like that make a difference. Will I be able to come in and sit down and talk to somebody, and they give me some assistance or help with maybe a small interest, a small loan over a short period of time, with a decent interest rate to cover? Because all banks don't give out loans for stuff. Some banks do better at giving you loans at a decent interest rate than other banks. Some banks don't give you loans for certain things, period. That's just the way it is. And you want to know those things. And then not including, like, even for like blacks, like I was looking online, like, number one, a lot of black people probably don't know this. Do you realize that there's only 2 black-owned banks in the state of Florida? One of them is in Tallahassee, and one of them is in Miami. The one in Tallahassee, I think, is the FAMU Credit Union or something. And the one in Miami, I think, is One United Bank or whatever. But it's only 2. It's only 2 black-owned banks in the whole state of Florida. It's 20 million people in the state of Florida. About 25% is black, about 25% is Hispanic, and then, the rest of it is made up of all the other kind of stuff. But we'll say 25% of 20 would be what? 5 million. 5 million blacks. It's 5 million blacks in the state of Florida, and it's only 2 black-owned banks. Goes back to a conversation we're going to get deeper into later on about blacks not owning anything. We don't own nothing. We don't have nothing. We don't own anything. I mean, it's not necessarily an issue, a problem for the bigger picture. Well, let me rephrase it. It is a goddamn problem. Yeah, we need to tighten up. I mean, I don't really have all the answers, but we need to tighten up. Killer Mike and a couple other brothers are creating an online bank in Greenwood. Check into that. But even if you don't go online, you want a more traditional bank where you want to walk through the doors and sit down and whatever, or you just, whatever, however you want to do that, you need to definitely open up an account. Having a bank account is very important. It's something that we have to do. We're not doing. There's not a lot of it, and just important. It's important to have a bank account. It helps you save money. It's really the means to the end, because that's just the way the system is. So get familiar with the different banks, what their charges and fees are, what their interest rates are, what their, that stuff makes a difference. So that's the type of stuff that I want you to be familiar with. Just, really get into the banking and understand that having a bank account is very important. A lot of the other stuff that we're going to talk about as far as just financial awareness and just basic life skill stuff that we need to know. At the end of the day, we all need a bank. We all need a bank account. You really can't do anything nowadays without it. Credit is very important. We're going to get into the credit issue. But having that bank account is very, very important. So for now, I'm going to stick to that. And just throw that knowledge out there that there's only 2 black-owned banks in the state of Florida. I want to say it's only 20 black-owned banks, period, in the whole country. But it's only 2 in the state of Florida. We got to do better than that. Like, for real. And it's nobody's fault but our fault. Because they're going out of business because we're not supporting. For tons of different reasons, we got to make some changes. Having that account to me means a lot because, like I said, it allows me to save. I don't know about other people. I know me. I save money when I have it go straight direct deposit to my account and I can't touch it. Because if I have money, I'm from the streets. I used to be out there hustling, whatever. So I got real familiar and used to having a lot of money on me. You know, it was times I have $1,000, $2,000 in my pocket, which is ridiculous. Nobody's doing that nowadays. But it also gave me the ambition or the opportunity to just buy what I see. So I had terrible saving discipline habits. Like I just see something and buy it. My daughter was the one who, my oldest daughter, was one of the ones who originally kind of brought to my attention that I'm tripping a little bit. You know, we go to the store and I'd be like, "Oh, you want that?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." Well, yeah, that's pretty. I like that. And I'd be like, "All right, you can get it." And she'd be looking at me like, "No, we can't just get it." Like literally, she literally would be like, "No, we can't just get it. Like, what are you doing?" And I'll be like, "What you mean? We got money right here. Let's buy it." And I started to realize that, man, you probably an idiot or something because you got this little kid like looking at you like you crazy. Because her mother was more conservative with teaching and explaining to them the need to not just spend money just because you have it. And what I ended up doing was I just started putting all my money in the bank. At a younger age, I would go and open up a bank account. Had no real knowledge about the ins and outs. I had the privilege of communicating with a couple bankers, and they started educating me and teaching me different stuff on banking and, you know, different ways to look at it, and just, you know, how they approach, you know, just different stuff. And having an account, because, you know, you may not know this, but they take into account, they pay attention to how long you've been banking with them. If you've been banking with somebody for, you know, 7, 8 years, constantly putting your money, spending in and out, they pay attention to that. Now, don't get me wrong, they still want to, you know, make a good loan to somebody with good credit, who got job history, or who going to pay them back. But the fact that you've been a member of their bank for so long, you know, that loyalty, they giving you a check mark for that. They like, boom, been a part of the bank for such and such. You know, they might tell you, "Hey, we got to tighten this up so I can be able to do this or whatever," you know. But they pay attention to that. They pay attention to that. You know, somebody can come through the door and have millions of dollars, and don't get me wrong, they probably won't turn it down. But don't assume that because your bank account level is low that you still can't get assistance from that bank, because you've been a member for 10 years. So they take that to heart. They like, well, hey, this person been with us for 10 years. Whatever money they get, they've been putting it into this account for 10 years. And, you know, as we all know, it's not a military secret. They make money off of our money, you know, doing all different kind of stuff, giving out loans, doing different stuff. So, you know, having an account is very important. So pay attention to that. Go out, research. Don't just be going don't go to a bank just because it's a big bank. Don't go to Wells Fargo just because, oh, well, it's Wells Fargo, it's big. It's 30,000 Wells Fargo. You know, don't do that, because Wells Fargo might not be the best rates, have the best prices, might not be the best situation for you to progress, you know. And you want to go somewhere where you're going to get progress. You also want to go somewhere where they're going to be friendly and sociable, and your interactions are not going to feel odd, because you can't go in places and you feel odd. Because like I said, you know, you go to Bank of America and you might be saying, "Hey, I only need 20 grand." They looking at you like, we'll get back with you, unless you got excellent credit. You know, you got excellent credit, and anybody everywhere give you something, because whatever, they're gonna tax the heck out you, but whatever, you know, they're gonna give it to you. And, you know, this is not necessarily a conversation for those who have excellent credit and got it, because 9 times out of 10, they probably got all their I's dotted and T's crossed. This is for the people who may not be in a position and they're trying to get there. Pay attention to that stuff. Pay attention to that. You and the banker should have a relationship, equilateral relationship across the board, you know, because you giving them your money. It don't matter how much it is. You giving them your money, and you should be getting something in return. If it's nothing but assistance on helping you get to where you need to go, you know, they should be doing a great job of that. So pay attention to that. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Just want to touch bases on that because it's very important. And just remember that it's only 2 black-owned businesses in the whole state of Florida. It's 20 million people here. 20 million people here. It's only 2 black-owned businesses in the whole state of Florida. One in Tallahassee, one in Miami. One at the top of the country state, one at the bottom of the state. All in the middle, in between, there's no black-owned businesses. Now, if it is, then let me know, and I'll put it back on here because I want people to have the correct information. But from my research, from what I was looking, when I Googled, I didn't see nothing but 2 black-owned businesses in the whole state of Florida. And it took me about 10 minutes to find them 2. So they was hidden. They was hidden in the cut somewhere. And the One United Bank actually originated in California, if I'm not mistaken. And they just opened up a branch in Miami. FAMU Credit Union originated in Florida on the campus of FAMU. And they just moved to a larger location, like right around the corner. So they kind of more, One United Bank actually, to me, not even really a traditionally grounded, founded bank here. They just kind of taking advantage of whatever. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but you know, I give FAMU Credit Union a little more credit because they started from the ground up right here in the state of Florida. You know, they from here, they here. So check on that. In the Central Florida area, I have not seen any. I've seen this. We got a lot of banks, but I ain't seen nothing that's owned by blacks. Not talking about a black person work for them, you know, higher up on in the. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about black-owned banks. Haven't found one. If they're out there, let me know, because I need to know that so I can get the right message back out to the people. And you know, because education and knowing is half the battle for real. Knowing is half the battle. And if we knew better, we do better. So we're not doing better because I don't think we just know. We just don't know. So we got to get to the point where we know better. And then, you know, if we don't do better then that's just on us. But I think part of the problem is just lack of knowledge. We just don't know. So we're going to educate, then we're going to elevate. We're going to just tighten up. Like I said, it's your boy J to the J Jones. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Continue to tune in. I love you guys. If I don't ever get down, like, hit, view, I don't care. I'm going to keep on keeping on because this is very important. Peace.